So I hung out with my dad and it was a mess. Please excuse the venting/rant that's happening, but I'm still crying about this, so. Also sorry for this being so long, a lot happened. I feel like this might be my rejection sensitivity kicking in or something, but yeah, this is long. So, I, 33F, haven't had the best relationship with my dad, 64M, for about 10 years. He and my mom split back in 2013, and he got a girlfriend not too long, not even a month, after they split. Their divorce wasn't even final when he started bringing his GF over to meet me. I fing can't stand her. She gives mean girl vibes, and with all the conversations I've had with her from when my dad and her got together, I can outwardly say that the feeling is mutual. She has actively shown that she doesn't like the fact that my dad and I are close and has a tendency to insert herself into my time with dad even when she isn't in the room. Anyways, this is about my dad. Yesterday was my day off. I was chilling at home and was just planning on reading my book and watching over my partner who is sick. So I'm in the middle of a mini conversation with my partner and out roommate when I get a sudden video call from my dad. I pick up and I'm kind of excited. My dad has been calling me a lot this past week. A lot for him is like 3 times in a week. I have kind of blown him off a bit because he would be calling me on my way to work or when I am at work, but this time, I'm actually off, so I was hoping he'd want to hang out with me a bit. The phone calls with my dad are always at most 2 minutes. We say what we need, say our I love yous, and hang up. So I pick up my phone and we start our quick conversation. Him, what are you up to today? Me, I just found out I was off today. I did. I thought I had to work until I looked at my schedule a few hours before I would be going in and saw I was off. Him, want to hang out? I'm gonna be on your side of town to pick up a friend's dog. Me, over eager hell yeah. What time? Dad, visibly excited to see me on the video call. How about 6 to 6:30 p.m.? Me, hell yeah. His GF, OP, up. Why don't y'all meet halfway? Dad, because I'm going to be on her side of town. His GF, but you guys can meet in the middle, and it'll make the drive easier on you. Dad, I want to see my daughter where it's easier for her, damn it. Let me go see my daughter. Me, tears up a bit, thanks Dad. I miss you too. Dad, so I'll see you at 6? Me, I'll see you then. So I just hang around the apartment until I have to go. Something is filling me with dread, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I was a bit scared that he was going to hang out with me for a short while then ditch me. It's happened before, and my gut was screaming that it was going to happen, but I just tried to be positive and said to myself that he was super excited to see me. So maybe he will stick around for longer than 30 minutes. I get to our favorite restaurant, Bahama Breeze, and he's there. We hug and go inside. At Bahama Breeze, they have a hostess. When you go in, you talk to the hostess, and she brings you to your table. My father walks right past this poor hostess and says, "We can seat ourselves here, right?" I take a second to process his words and see him immediately go to the patio to the booth he wants to be in. He pauses and goes, "Wait, where are our menus? Or our silverware?" I pause and tell him, "It's because you didn't stop by the hostess stand." I had yelled at him about not stopping by the hostess stand the whole walk to the table. I was so embarrassed. He goes, "Okay, you want to go talk to the hostess? Go ahead." Bro, what? That was supposed to be step 1, dude. So I run back to the hostess stand. Apologize like a million times for just passing her and that my dad's an asshole, in the nicest way possible. She understands and says it's okay and grabs a couple menus and walks with me to where my dad parked himself. Okay, crisis taken care of. Time for part 2. Ordering. My dad is talking fast at me about how he might not be able to stick around because he is meeting up with the previous owners of this dog here instead of after we eat. It was a mini stab in the heart for me because I was actually looking forward to spending time with him. The waiter, the sweetest man in the world, I swear. Had to deal with my dad going, "I'm ready to order my jerk chicken pasta and a rum runner." I look at the waiter. He catches eyes with me, and I'm immediately giving him a sympathetic look like, yeah, he's one of those guests. I'm sure he is happy that we knew what we wanted right away, but I dunno. It just Made me feel so rushed that I ordered the island snapper and an ultimate pineapple. We catch up a bit. I tell him about work and personal life nonsense, and he tells me a bit about his work. All of a sudden, he brings up his GF. Him, I hope you don't think she, GF, doesn't want me to spend time with you. Me, internally annoyed but understanding it's okay. I get you guys live on the opposite side of town. Him, yeah. And I know it's hard for you because gas is expensive. I just wanted to spend time with you. You know? Like, I just want to be with my daughter, and she wants to make you drive halfway across town to see me. That's not fair to me or you. Me, feeling the tears come up again, yeah. I missed you too, Dad. We should be able to spend daddy/daughter time together. Maybe we can. His phone rings. Him, OH. I gotta go. I'll be right back. Hands me his card. I need to ask the waiter for my food pack to go. Make sure to pay out the order, okay? I'll be back. He leaves me alone, and not 10 seconds after he leaves, the waiter comes back with our drinks. I'm upset, but I tell the waiter my dad needs a box to go. Waiter, do you want a box to go too? Me, no. I was really looking forward to eating here, but keep it on the back burner. I end up going ham on my drink immediately when he leaves. I'm angry, embarrassed that I thought my dad would want to spend time with me, and just overall a bit heartbroken. I tear up a bit, take a deep breath, and take a picture of myself. One without my drink in hand, and one with my drink in hand and Dad's drink in the background. I send the pictures to my roommates saying, having a great time with Dad. It's like that time he went out to get milk. And the tears are slowly dripping down. I can't stop it. It just, like, why would you invite me out if you aren't going to spend time with me? This whole thing has happened within roughly 10 to 15 minutes of sitting down. He could have asked to hang out earlier. He could have picked me up and we could run errands together. But nope. 10 to 15 minutes later, he comes back to me with a stroller with a whole dog inside. She is cute, but I'm almost certain she isn't allowed to be in the restaurant, even if she is in a stroller. My dad immediately asks, am I allowed to have her in here? It's fine, right? We are in the patio. I tell him, most likely not, and just continue drinking my drink. He goes on talking about his GF when he goes, I should call her, because she had been messaging/calling him the whole time we have been here. There is no emergency. She does this every time we plan on hanging out. Anyway, I just kind of shut down at this point. He was talking to her about the dog they got and showing her that he got the dog, and all of a sudden, him, say hi to Opie. Her, hi Opie. How are you doing? Me, I'm fine. Trying to enjoy time with my dad. You know, the usual. Her, okay, Dad. Moves his phone to point at the dog. Look. She's so cute. She looks good. Me, messaging my roommate about the random dog that popped into the chat. He came back with a whole Yorkie in a stroller. I've never been so embarrassed but understanding of a weird situation. My dad finally hangs up with his GF and repeats to himself, I gotta ask the waiter to box up my food. Me, don't worry. I took care of it. Him, thank you, baby. You're the best. Me, yeah. Him, did you pack up your food too? Me, no. I wanted to eat here with you, but I guess not. I swear he didn't even hear that because all of a sudden, he is back to focusing on the dog and says, is she okay? She looks hot. I should get her some water. Maybe AC? I just stop responding at this point because he isn't listening to me, and anything that comes out is going through one ear and out the other. I would also just end up losing my shit on him, and that's not what either of us want. I honestly feel like a teenager all over again at this point. I'm just forcing the tears to stay back until we leave because I'm not trying to make a scene. Dad, I'm gonna take her to the car. Call me when the food comes. He takes the dog with him and just leaves me alone at this booth. At this point, I can't stop the small amount of tears flowing, and I just chug my drink and start chugging the rest of his as well because he literally had like 2 gulps and left it half full. I call the waiter before I have a full breakdown and tell him to pack my food to go and pay on Dad's card. I apologize for the wacky visit in between tears and just wait for our boxes of food to show up. A few minutes later, I get our boxes. I call my dad to get his food, wait a solid 5 minutes, which felt like an hour, for him to leave, and then I grab my stuff and run to my car seething. I sob on the way home about the whole thing. It was embarrassing. It was heartbreaking. I'm not sure if this qualifies as rejection sensitivity, but it really feels like my dad just wanted to be elsewhere instead of spending time with me. I was so upset and almost started journaling while driving. I stopped because texting anything while driving is dangerous, but I had been able to type one quick thing at a red light before I put my phone down. It's so hard to connect with you. You literally try to speed run through hanging out with me. That's what it felt like. It was going to start as a poem, but I felt like that was enough for a moment. Every other sentence I wrote down in this was just as heartbreaking as the moment it happened. I'm still crying about this, and this happened on Tuesday. I have tried to tell him about this in our own way. I have tried to talk to him about the way he acts with me. This isn't the first time I've come home crying, and my roommates had to pick up the pieces after a hangout session with my dad. My partner in particular has seen it firsthand. In particular, he has watched me slowly fall apart as things unfold. I've stopped wearing makeup when I see my dad just in case something like this happens. I normally get dressed up because he normally asks me to look nice whenever we are hanging out for some reason, but this time, I chose to wear shorts and a tank top because I wasn't feeling being extra knowing he was running errands. I do blame his GF and him. Her because she literally has to insert herself into our time even when she isn't around, via constantly texting/calling him when we are together. Him because it feels like everything else is more important than our time together. I'm not sure if my dad has ADHD or he just doesn't actually want to spend time with me, but when I hang out with people, I don't act this way. And I've actually been diagnosed with ADHD since I was 9. I'm normally rather good at keeping my emotions in check, but when it comes to him, I don't know what happens to me. It's like he reduces me back down to that kid I used to be before him and my mom divorced. Like I just erode to dust every time he does something like this, or when we plan to hang out to do things and he calls me to cancel.